don't grow fond of the brand. I think 18 months down the line, I was asked to take up this new role as a head of sales for Gujarat in the Mercedes-Benz business. The kind of shift that I've seen in my career is really awesome. And whenever I think and sit about this story, so I've been thinking on how to tell this story. So I myself am amazed and I'm very happy with the kind of shifts that I've taken in my life.
So, team, welcome to yet another exciting episode of RevUp with AR Pro. All of you know RevUp is an initiative by AR Pro to bring in a lot of positivity in the auto industry. Of course, all of us are very positive about the industry, but this would be great when we hear stories from people who have been successful in this industry. As you know, AR Pro is the world's largest network of professionals from the auto industry. We have almost members from every brand in the world, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, from West Bengal to Gujarat. We have members from across India on this group and working in the auto industry from where representing various brands in the industry. So today we have a very special guest again, as usual. Today, the guest for the day is Pro Nishad Ananthony, who is the CEO of Benchmark Mercedes Gujarat. So let me introduce you to the guest of the day, Pro Nishad. Over to you, Pro.
Thanks a lot, bro, and a very good morning to everyone. I hope everybody is safe, your families are safe, and we are all doing well right now. How are you doing, Shrikant?
Yeah, all well, all well.
Great. So it's great to be here on this session, and I hope we can enlighten a lot of our crowd and share some very exciting stories from my life, and I hope that I'm able to add value to our friends who are watching us right now.
That's great. So thank you, Pro Nishad. So in fact, you've been a member on AR Pro for quite some time now.
Yes.
Okay, I hope you've been enjoying being a part of AR Pro.
I'm absolutely being a part of Air Pro. I think I've been a member for more than 1.5 to 2 years now. And the good thing about Air Pro is that a lot of data which is coming to us in various forms in terms of numbers, in terms of new car launches, and some things which we are not aware of. So it keeps us up to date with the automotive market, and it's great to share with our teams also. So it is a lot of give and take in terms of knowledge, receiving from you and then spreading everywhere. So I think Air Pro is enlightening everyone across the automotive market. Okay.
Thanks a lot. That's fantastic to hear. In fact, it's great to have you on AR Pro. And now, to start with RevUp, I would like to know, because all of us have always had a humble start of career, and we have actually grown in this auto industry. So similarly, I also understand you also had a very humble start, and today you have grown up to be the CEO of Benchmark Cars in Gujarat. So we would like to know your story. What was your first job, and how did you grow? What was the path from your start till date?
Sure. So I passed out. I did my MBA from Pune from an institute called BIMM, and that was back in the year 2002. And from there, I got picked up by a company called Shriram Multitech. So basically, it was a manufacturing firm, and they were into manufacturing of multi-layer tubes, the toothpaste tubes that we use today. And so my first job was into manufacturing and marketing of multi-layer tubes, as they call it. So it has nothing to do with automotive at that point of time.
Okay.
So that is where basically I started my work. I worked there for around a period of 6 to 7 months, and that is when I realized that this is not a right place for me. I am not into a technical background. I am not into this kind of a sales background specifically, and I got an opportunity to work with Axis Bank in the retail banking section. So basically handling customers, the front office, and all the operations of the front office, and I did that for around a period of 3.5 years in Axis Bank. From retail banking and front office banking, I moved into retail assets, as they used to call it then and still. into two-wheeler loans in ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank was a huge retail lending giant at that point of time, still is, no doubt. And the amount of volume that we used to do back then is amazing. And the kind of technology we had then was nothing. It was a great experience at that point of time, churning out thousands of two-wheeler loans per day. So I did that for around 3.5 years in ICICI Bank, and then moved on to corporate banking in the same bank. So basically, from a small ticket size of 30,000 up to then suddenly moving into 1 crore and above, up to 10 crores was the journey at that point of time. Again, involved a lot of learning, and I think I did that for a period of 2.5 years more. So my total banking experience was around 9 years, and then at that point of time. In the year 2011, a friend of mine who we were in college together, and then I was his relationship manager when I was in two-wheeler loans. So he approached me. He said, "Nishant, why don't you stop doing all these things and you join us in the automotive field? And why don't you take a look at one of my businesses?" So I said, "I have no idea of what to do, and how to run a business of someone." So I said, "I've already always been a corporate jockey, and this is something which I have no idea about." So he was very encouraging at that point of time. He is one of the large groups in Ahmedabad and Gujarat right now. So he said, I also am into car loans or into cars and two-wheelers, and he has just taken up a dealership of Ashok Leyland light vehicles. So he said, "I don't know squat about commercial vehicles. You are on the same page. Both of us are, we don't have a knowledge about this thing. Why don't you take it up and we'll see how it goes." So I think that's when I took a leap from from being a corporate stooge into the automotive sector. And I started out as a CEO for Planet Auto Lines. We were basically dealers for Ashok Leyland light vehicles. And I did sales, service, marketing, everything. It was a great time, great learning experience. Lot of
So
support.
that was your first instant with auto industry?
Absolutely. So that is how I joined. So growing up into a role is something else, and being put onto a role which has a lot of responsibility suddenly, and you are playing with you are playing with somebody else's money in terms of crores, and being responsible for a right balance to churn out a right balance sheet is something of a huge responsibility at that point of time. I was in my early 30s, and that is the way I entered the automotive sector. So after working there for around 4 years, 4.5 years, I joined Landmark Group, and from light commercial vehicle, I was the CEO for heavy commercial vehicle, Ashok Leyland again. Nothing to do with light commercial vehicle, absolutely a different field. So there was banking, there was light commercial vehicle, and there was heavy commercial vehicle. Customers are different, their wants and demands are different. So again, learning up that kind of the requirements of the trade of heavy vehicles was absolutely challenging, but I enjoyed it. And a lot of times I've been given responsibilities which are beyond my capacity, but thankfully I've been able to grow into them really fast.
That's fantastic. In fact, so you said your first automobile incident was with Ashok Leyland.
Yes.
So how was that experience? Like, you were working in the banking industry for all this while, and suddenly when you started with auto industry, were you loving that industry, or there was something really attracting you there?
I absolutely love the industry, and the fun part of it is the amount of freedom that I was given, right? So the more the freedom I'm given, the more I tend to enjoy and grow in that role. So there was a lot of freedom given. There was nobody sitting on my head as to what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. So that is the kind of experience that I was given, and I'm very grateful for that right now. The amount of confidence that was shown in me is something else.
Okay, that's fantastic. So after that, after Ashok Leyland, what did you move to?
So then I went to Landmark in heavy commercial vehicles, and when I joined Landmark, I was told that don't grow fond of the brand, because this might not be your last role in Landmark. So again, I didn't know what to do. I did that role for around 1.5 years, again as a CEO for heavy commercial vehicles, sales, after sales, marketing, everything, and in charge of the balance sheet basically. And I think 18 months down the line, I was asked to take up this new role as a head of sales for Gujarat in in the Mercedes-Benz business of Landmark again. So again, from heavy commercial vehicle to the top luxury car in the brand, I had no idea.
So what all
Basically,
brands did you work there with?
so brand is, as I said, it was Ashok Leyland commercial vehicle, then heavy vehicles in Ashok Leyland again, and then straight on to Mercedes automotive. So this the kind of shift that I've seen in my career is really awesome. And I whenever I think and sit about this story, so I've been thinking on how to tell this story. So I myself am amazed and I'm very happy with the kind of shifts that I've taken in my life.
That's amazing. So in Benchmark, again, you worked with Ashok Leyland, and after that, you switched the brand directly to Mercedes, or was there something in between?
No, it was directly to Mercedes, and so Mercedes is the first automotive passenger car experience that I've had. So I'm head of sales for Gujarat, and I think one and a half year down the line, I was being groomed for the CEO role. Because when I entered, I was told that I might, if I can, I will be allowed to take this role in 18 months. And around in the year 2018 or 2017 end, I was told that I'll have to take up this role very fast, and I should be able to learn the tricks of the trade as fast as possible. So basically, I took this up again as a challenge, and that is where I am today. So I've been the CEO for Benchmark Cars, Mercedes-Benz in Gujarat for a period of around 18 months now, and it's been a fun journey.
That's fantastic to hear, in fact. So, Pro, let me ask you something. After you entered into auto industry, definitely it would not be an easy task to suddenly switching over from a banking industry to auto industry. And after you got into the auto industry, in the commercial segment, could you recall one of the most exciting customer experience that you had?
Yes, definitely. So, as I said, from banking to commercial vehicles, there is no relation between the two. The only thing is that we used to manage people here and we are managing people everywhere. So, people are the only constant thing that I've been managing. And there was one experience which particularly hit me. Commercial vehicle, as we know, is a means of livelihood. You don't realize that until somebody tells it to you on your face, especially for me who was an outsider to the trade. And there were some series of breakdowns which were happening in the light commercial vehicle called Dost, and it was a brilliant vehicle at that point of time. And we had taken in some vehicles inside our workshop, and we were trying to figure out a way to get them back on road as fast as possible. So these guys are very simple people who are basically moving goods from one place to another and ensuring they reach on time. So I was sitting in the workshop, and a guy comes over and he's almost in tears. So I didn't know what to do. I just met him. I said, "What happened?" So he said, "Sir, my vehicle is in the workshop from last 15 days, and why I have this vehicle is to make 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees per day, which enables me to pay this, 20,000 EMI and then run my house also." So he said, 15 days in the workshop on your side, and I have not had a single rupee. This is the only vehicle that I have. So that is when I realized that I am, actually in charge of somebody's livelihood at that point of time, and it is something which should not be taken lightly on my side. It is not right to be taken lightly at that point of time. So that is one experience. The way he told me and the way I took it is something which changed my perspective towards the commercial vehicle industry forever.
Okay, okay. Now, it's a totally different experience, selling a commercial vehicle to a luxury brand, one of the biggest luxury brands in the world and also in India. In fact, when we talk about luxury brand, the first thing that probably comes to our mind in India, at least, is Mercedes. Any person who is successful in his life, probably the first luxury car he's had in his life is a Mercedes. There are umpteen number of luxury brands today in India, but then still, Mercedes still stands with a 3-point star. Now, how has been your experience working with a Mercedes commercial brand?
Uh, So as I said, as you rightly said, we often tell our customers also that a child, he never says मैं बड़ा होके X लूँगा या Y. He says मैं बड़ा होके Mercedes लूँगा. So that is the kind of aspiration that the brand has in our country and globally also. So one of the first and primary tasks on my side was to live up to the expectation of the brand. Not that Ashok Leyland is any lower brand. It is one of the top brand in the country also for commercial vehicles. But then the aspirations of a customer who is driving or who is owning a fleet of trucks and somebody who is having maybe one or two cars is absolutely different. So these are people who have made it in life, who have reached there, and who want to celebrate their life by owning a luxury car. So the first thing was to understand the customer itself and the people, even the people in terms of the team. The team for Ashok Leyland or maybe a commercial vehicle and the team in a luxury car segment is totally different. The way you talk to them, the way you motivate them, what motivates them, what drives them, what drives these guys. So if you look at it, it is absolutely different. While there are people on both sides, the same set of customers, we have had instances where a fleet owner of a truck is buying a Mercedes. So, but then that same person, the kind of aspiration he has from the Mercedes brand is absolutely different. So the first thing was to learn what are the aspirations of people, how people run, and what they want basically in this brand. So that is one of the first things I had to pick up, and I had to pick it up really fast.
That's fantastic. So, in fact, a type of customer in a commercial brand and the kind of customer and the kind of treatment that is given in a luxury brand is totally different. The finesse at which or the over luxury feeling that you give at Mercedes and something at Ashok Leyland is of course a big difference. It's definitely you would have learned something much more than what was there in Ashok Leyland. So I would like to understand those points. But before you say that, team, this is on to you. Thank you for joining in. We've got a great session going on. But team, I want you to share this link with your people right now. Before Pro Nishad tells us much more exciting stories, very important, click on the share button right now so that you can also help your other members and colleagues from the auto industry view this session and interesting stories from Pro Nishad. Press the share button immediately, team. Let me have a look at it. Share this on your timeline, or you can even tag your friends in the comment section. If you have done, please type shared in the comment section after you've shared. Please type yes. Please type yes in the comment section after you have shared. That's great. So, Pro Nishad, I'm coming back to you again. So, what is that uber luxury difference that you felt? It might, I mean, I'm not telling that we don't have to give this to a customer who's buying Ashok Leyland, but probably the kind of change you have seen is a big sea of change from Ashok Leyland to Mercedes. So, can you tell me what was a special experience which you felt, your first impressions when you joined Mercedes?
So when we joined, or in fact, when I joined Mercedes, they were into a transition phase in getting something in called a Lux experience. So how to raise the bar in terms of luxury for the customers, because the customers here in this brand, they have seen it all. They have traveled the world, they've driven all kind of cars, and they have seen a lot of luxury in their life. So we have to get that luxury or the feel of luxury when they walk into the showroom. So there was this training of Lux experience which was going on, and they had gotten somebody from UK called Mr. Paul. In fact, he was Lord Paul. I remember him correctly. So he was a lord there, and Lord Paul was somebody who was called to India, and he was going across dealerships in the country, and he was teaching us, or how to give that kind of a luxury experience to the customer. What to say, what not to say, what should be your body language. Basics like how to give a card. We've learned it all, the right way to give a card. So it's been taught to you or to me or anybody since the last 20 years. However, we still have that casual approach, you give a card with one hand and you take it with another. But then these luxury experiences, and rightly said, we were asked to make it a culture, So making luxury a culture was something which we started out doing in the brand from the year 2018. And very small things, the coffee mug or the coffee cup which comes has the Mercedes-Benz TriStar on it, and it is made with chocolate and with a stencil. So when the first time I saw it, I was amazed And it is such a simple thing. It is stencil which cost, I don't know, 100 rupees, and you just sprinkle coffee, the chocolate powder over it, and it gives you a logo on the coffee. But something so small has had such a profound effect on the customers, and that they've been clicking pictures, they've been putting it as their DP on the WhatsApp statuses and on their Facebook and everywhere. So this is the kind of experience that we have been taught to give, and I'm very happy that I have been able to mold myself into giving that kind of an experience to the customers also.
That's great. In fact, I still remember when I was on a visit to the Mercedes-Benz showroom in Bangalore, and I got the same cup of coffee with that there's a TriStar on it, and I was amazed. In fact, that gives a lovely experience to the customer. Like you said, it's a small amount, and probably like 100 rupees or something, or probably other brands have not even thought of going to that extent. I'm saying, I mean, why only a Mercedes? I think you should be giving this even to a Maruti customer. That builds a brand experience in the customer, isn't it? Really amazing. Fantastic.
We were people coming over just to have the coffee. So that is the kind of experience that we love to give, and that is the way. That is why we are here, and that is why Mercedes is the number one brand not only in the country but globally since last 5 years.
Wow. Wow. That's fantastic. So, Pro, tell me something. Now, after you got into Merciless, can you recall one of the most interesting, customer had?
Sure. So it was not so much of a customer which was there, but a father. So we had those ads going on Tata Sky, best or nothing. So it was a national ad campaign. The moment you switch on Tata Sky, you used to get this the best or nothing ad on Tata Sky. So small kid, I think 6-year-old would have seen the ad, and he just got his father to tweet to Mercedes-Benz that my son saw this ad and he's absolutely loving this ad, and his favorite car is the S Class. And the customer was from Ahmedabad, and we got this tweet sent to us from Mercedes, the marketing division, and the team and us, we thought, why not do something about it? So we took two or three cars. We took the GLE and the S Class, and we surprised this kid at his house. And a 6-year-old to get that kind of an experience of a GLE and then a S Class. And I think this was a event. This was something which we did over 4 hours. We took the whole family for lunch. They enjoyed the lunch. We took them. We drove them out. We drove them to a mall. We took them to a ride in the city, and we did this activity for around 4.5 hours, and I think it blew their mind. And it is something. The brand is such an aspirational brand that, and this event has been imprinted in the mind of the family. I'm sure that we have got this guy so young right now at 6 7. I think now he's 8 year old. It's been 2 years now, but the moment he grows up into a working individual, and the day he can afford it, or the day he can get it, the first place I think he'll go is to a Mercedes showroom and pick up a car for himself. So we've got him young, and the expressions on the face of the kid and then his family, naturally, to see their child so happy was something else. And so that is one of the experiences which comes to my mind immediately when delighting a customer, or he is not even a customer, just delighting somebody who has aspirations for your brand is something which we did, and that is one experience which I think we'll never forget.
Fantastic. In fact, that's truly something inspirational. It's something that you're etching this on his mind, the brand Mercedes in this person's mind. He may not buy it today, but on one day, you know, this is something that etched for lifetime in his heart, that Mercedes is a brand, fantastic brand. But just came to me with one tweet of mine. It came over the entire set of cars and gave me that fantastic experience. This is what brand building is all about. See, team, I'm sure a lot of you in this, people who are attending this session today are from the sales department, or even maybe some of you from the after sales as well. Now, it is not sales or after sales that matters. It is kind of experience that we give to customers that matters. That's exactly what this example from Pro Nishad confirms. So, if we give customers a fantastic experience, don't look at the result. Result will come back to us definitely for sure. So it is our duty to give them that fantastic experience so that the customer, if not to us. And that's exactly what is said in this example. That's fantastic, Nishad. Now, if I ask you, what was the most inspirational moment in your automobiles?
Well, bro, it's in working time of 18 or 20 years now, it's difficult to have one role model or one moment which inspires you or keeps you going for your whole life. So in the same way, I think I keep on deriving my inspiration from the people around me or from the actions around me, and they keep driving me to do better and do more. So there's particularly the two incidents which I would like to share. I had the opportunity of attending a seminar or a talk by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam in IIM Ahmedabad,
Wow.
and I was not a student, so I got in. One of my friends was studying there, and he said that we have Dr. Kalam coming in. Do you want to come? I said, is it possible? So he actually smuggled me in to that classroom of 30 people, and I was the 31st. Absolutely terrifying for me because I was not supposed to be there. So Dr. Kalam came in sharp on time, and he went on to deliver a superb talk of motivating people to do more for the country, for themselves, and just meeting that great man. He was standing 10 feet away from me, and he since he was an ex-president, he had all the Z security and everything. So he just asked the security people to move away. He said, "I am in an education institute. I don't need security right now. I want to talk with the students." We asked the security to move away, and meeting this guy, meeting this person at this distance, uh, Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, and the humility he displayed was absolutely amazing. He personified the word Vinamrata, humility in himself. And one statement which he made that day is imprinted in my mind. And our chairman, Mr. Sanjay Thakkar, also, keeps saying this one. What worked yesterday will not work today. So it is a very relevant thing to say because in current times also we know that what we used to do in the month of January does not work today in the month of June, just 6 months down the line. Such a relevant statement and such a profound statement. I think there are very few things that I remember over my career, but this is one thing which I remember, and I think I'll keep it in my mind till I'm working. So that is one very inspirational moment which was there. Second moment was from one of our consultants in our team. She was the only working member in the family, and average performer. I think the productivity was around 1.5 or 2 cars per month. So this girl, her father was unwell, and along with the father, mother also suddenly started feeling unwell for whatsoever health reason, and her mom passed away in a matter of I think 2 or 3 days. Post that, father also was in a very bad condition and in the hospital, and she being the only working member. So I can just imagine what was going through her mind at that point of time. And this is not long ago, around 7, 8 months ago, this incident happened. So that girl, she came back to work. Mom recently passed away, father not in a condition to move, and she delivered a month in which she did 7 cars. So that is on an average a luxury car in the luxury car industry in India. 3 cars and above, or 3 cars, you just get up and applaud the person in our country. But this girl, she comes back with a performance of 7 cars, and in this kind of a scenario in her life, and that is something which is really motivated me at that point of time. I said that you need something to drive you. I have no idea what drove her to that kind of performance in such a bad month for her, but that is something very inspirational. So that was motivating for me, and I remember this incident and I keep it in my mind that if somebody at that level with that kind of difficulty can produce this kind of a result in her life, I say I am very blessed right now.